points in question. So that should be a timestamp link. It is. Okay, so 139 to 145 or 146 is going to be the approximate.
Yep, I know. I thought we were gonna be light infantry today. I am so fucking close.
That's some really good spacing you guys got going on there.
Bro, look, man.
Looks
we've
pretty
had
stable
the
so
entire
far.
op.
You know, Ramos Element in particular got shafted by a lot of the issues that were happening during the op, both performance and gameplay wise.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it looks relatively alright. I mean, this is just normal armor so far.
Yeah,
Right.
it's when people.
By the way, if you want those comps, if you ever end up playing or running anything Halo, I can give you the comps for these farmhouses. Okay, so yeah, this elite right here is getting lit up, crossing line of fire. Jesus. Yeah, this elite gets shot by multiple people. You can see the shield effect happening. It's just not dying. And that same elite had been killed. That same type of elite had been killed 3 or 4 times before on the server. The officer.
Channel switched.
So,
Channel
like the problems really started happening around the time that the 41st managed to get to the Visegrad, really.
Yeah, then it crashes there. So yeah, like 144 is probably when it starts really nosediving.
Okay, yeah, the AI has definitely stopped moving at that point, considering you were able to just walk up to them.
Yeah.
Because normally the AI will snap to the closest target, because they have eyes in the back of their head for some stupid reason.
Cry about having a quarter of the inventory space.
Ruckus, I can't help but notice.
And you can see like their
there's no
behavior
Jeff
isn't
on your
changing
helmet.
now. He's just walking forward like
What do you
he's
mean?
not getting shot to death.
Where's your
You
Jeff
don't
neck?
even have a helmet, Brian.
Incorrect.
Listen,
Incorrect. Wait, read that back there.
You
What does
too.
that say?
Where?
Microphone muted.
All I'm going to say here is
Where?
See my
Where?
name on the back of my helmet. That's in bright white.
There is no helmet.
Oh my.
You just have
Okay.
a balaclava for me.
Brian, Ruckus.
I think at this point now the players have all stopped moving as well. Yep, everybody's
You might
frozen.
need to update you might need to update your
Ruckus
22nd
and
one.
Ramos are both of the
Can you see-
OGs.
Can you see the bayonet?
No.
Oh, you need to
I
update
need
your
to-
22nd mod. What the fuck?
I will. I will in a second. I haven't. I forgot to. Shut up.
Yeah, the only thing I can find in relation to like really bad desync and freezing, at least in relation to the Optre Aux mod, is
It was meant to. Don't worry about it.
third page.
Oh my
Come
god,
on,
Ruckus,
Lex.
running the bayonet. I love you.
Back in
I
was it back
have
in
I just
January?
immediate
No.
respect for you right now.
Was it page 13?
There we go.
Page back in December, where blowing up vehicles would cause near fatal server desync, but
Listen,
I don't
need
see.
versatility.
But yeah, it's basically been marked as can't replicate.
Yeah, it's done.
I don't think you have cook-off enabled, do you?
Come with me. If anyone hears slurping noises from in the corner,
I
don't
believe
worry
we
about it.
do.
You do, okay.
I said
We
don't
do.
worry don't
But-
worry about it.
We have cook-off
Listen,
enabled.
I'm straight
Rams
until
has burned to
bayonets
death
are
before,
involved,
as have I.
okay? Then I'm very, very sexually fluid. That's all
but-
I'm going to say to people, okay?
Touch bayonets.
Oh, sorry. I think I'm
He's like
getting
a
sick.
rubber.
Because I'm still
The
Very fluid.
issues that were happening were
You don't want to see
pretty much unrelated to any vehicles getting lit up.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, when you get used to using bayonets in real life,
Are
you
you
don't need
sure?
them in a game.
'Cause,
Well, I mean,
Wait.
the Phantom blows up there, but I mean,
Ready?
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Underpants,
thinking
but
that
go
it
ahead.
might be like the true triggered it to blow up, but okay, so it blew up in that.
Nice.
right. Earlier, during the side op, we did have a few wraiths cooking off. I don't know about during Reach one.
Local army units.
I might hang on. Sorry, I think my noise gate's really high.
holding the line against the first Covenant
Oh
wave
yeah, that is
via
so
Zoom.
aggressive. There we go.
We don't really have much air power.
Sorry about that.
What we do have is, you see up there, that's our frigate we came in on, Vanguard of Liberty. And there is also a Marine frigate somewhere off the coast that has come down from orbit because they were shot pretty good. They got their frigate stabilized, but their units they
Yeah,
had that was going to
it
fight
just
in
doesn't
space are
look
now going to
like
fight
a
on the
memory
ground to help
problem. I
us. They look like that Marine person over
legitimately
here
cannot figure
wearing
out
the
why
air
it might
assault
be doing
helmet
that.
stuff.
It's not like
So they'll
even like
be
Arma's
friendly Marines for today.
limiting itself in
But
terms of
right now
memory
the Covenant
usage.
are only
We
attacking
don't
the
have
city
that
of La Verde,
parameter set
so we
at
gotta
all.
go there and help our UNSC Army fob
Which means it'll
hold
just use whatever the
their
maximum.
station.
It's
That's all it's
maximum
basically.
memory times 4, all divided by
The
5
big
or something
red
like that.
orange area on the map, that's the Oni area of
Don't ask me
operations.
why.
They were
It
there
just does that.
before the Covenant
The only
invasion
thing that I
started.
can think that might affect it might be that we don't
don't
have
know
huge
much
pages
about that
enabled,
area at all, but
which
we
I'll have to
know
do.
there's at least one, or there was, I don't know if they're still there, one Spartan team in that area. So
But
be on the
even
lookout for
that
them.
shouldn't
They
make
might help you guys. I don't
that
know what
much
they're
of a
doing.
difference overall, realistically.
Keep in mind,
Actually, let me just check.
power lines in this operation are going to be vital for ground communication, as all of our other means of communication from base to out there to you guys have been cut. Power lines are the only real thing that can help. So, yep, keep in mind if you're on the ground, you need to be near the power lines.
Okay.
We haven't noticed any other Covenant movement, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is more Covenant movement in other cities on the southern side of the island. Alright. And if things get overwhelming, do not be afraid to pull back. We probably can't beat the Covenant at this point in the war. So if we do have to end up falling back, don't take it as a defeat. Take it as a live to fight more time today. Alright. That's the brief. I would recommend taking 2 bulldogs. Yeah, I'm horrible at briefs, so.
I understand.
I'd recommend taking at least 2 bulldogs down there, in case you mess up your one. Air power today, we don't really have any air power left. What we do have is probably going to be Marine reinforcements. If they can get through the Covenant air, Covenant pretty much rule the skies. We do have tanks on the ground. I know
Try
there was at least 1 to 2 tanks over at the
huge
UNSC
pages,
Army
maybe.
fob you guys are going to. I don't know how many's left or anything like that, but there was those there about an hour or 2 ago.
Actually, I need to edit the actual file.
Alright. Any questions? Okay. Jordan, you're the squad lead. You can take it away from here. That's appreciated. Have fun. Don't die.
Thanks,
Right.
Andrew.
Okay, so the way that we're going to do this at the moment, first of all, Ramos, I know you're muted, but slap the bitty.
He is in the squad.
He is.
Is he?
Yep, we're
Yeah,
both
he's
here.
a white name for some reason.
Oh, right, he's not appearing on mine. Okay. Right, okay then. So what we're going to do here is, what have we got? Myself, Morningstar, and Lex will be in the first Bulldog. Ruckus, Brian, Wellington, and Rabs will be in the second.
Oh, yeah.
Because one will have 3, one will have 4 regardless. Right. We're going to take this.
Check.
Good check.
Me, Charlotte.
Good check.
So the way that we're going to do this at the moment is we will make our way down the MSR, return to the power lines as described by Monarch. Once we start to reach towards the fob, I have drawn a phase line leading directly there. However, if we approach and there is already contact underway, we will dismount beforehand, we will form up in a wedge formation, and we will push towards the fob, making sure to clear
I've got
any
to get going
contacts we
because I
find
need
along the way.
to get some stuff ready
Anybody
for
have any
accounts to get
questions
home
with this?
to do some wedding planning.
Yep.
Like to make some
Kamiya should be on shortly.
They
They were an actual player for the op,
the lines,
so
power
they might
lines,
have some
essentially,
additional
from what I understood
context.
from
But
Andrew, just stick both of them, otherwise the radios
else,
won't work. And then another
I'll
thing,
do my
from what
best
I
to try and get
understood
that op
from
ran
the
this
briefing,
week
we're meant to get
with
slapped around
the
a little.
monitor data.
So if you see
Do you want to
shit
try and
type,
be there for that, or do you want me to just
don't
basically
do weapons,
record the
just
results?
fall back. Like if we can also
Yes,
give you like if
we
the
are not.
Ortoranovich go down, yeah.
We are not going to be. We are not going to be
How much
stupid
use
about
would
this.
there
If we are
be
taking
to me being
overwhelming
there?
contact, we will
None
perform
whatsoever
a
that
tactical
I am aware
withdrawal
of.
and
But
either
I
lead
also
the enemy
fully
units
acknowledge my
into an
ignorance on the
ambush or
topic,
a
so
feint wherever possible. Failing that, we will.
figured I'd at least put the option. So I
There's a
will.
famous quote.
Yeah. I mean,
we won't retreat. We'll just find another direction to attack from.
That's about it.
I mean, one way to potentially bypass that. I don't know if monitor works via Archon, but if we enabled Battle Eye, I could try to use Archon. But that means enabling Battle Eye, and I don't know what the general opinion on that is.
I'll record the results and send
Copy
them.
that.
We
If
gotta.
that is following the more power lines, then we'll.
We gotta try
we'll
not to
use
just.
that route. We'll
Oh well, hold on. I think
divert off and move in there. Hold on.
I think I can. I think I have an idea on how we can do that. I might be able to just use
Good
the same
copy.
mission
Okay,
file.
so we will do that instead.
just
We will
remix some
divert
things.
down that side road and adhere to the power lines, just on a really rough phase line. There, it's quick and dirty, just like me.
What?
You heard nothing. Right. So again, what we'll do? Shut up, Ramos. Right, so what we're going to do is we'll go over, we'll get mounted up from the two bulldogs with the way that.
Alright, well, thank you for taking the time. I'll let you know whenever that is done and get that over. In the meantime, I will and see what the results are for at least short. Hello, Kamiya. I'm about to leave because I've got to do some wedding planning stuff, but the conclusion essentially is that we just have to run an op and monitor the results.
Okay.
There's nothing jumping out from going back over any of the server data as a potential.
And there's a lot of speculation, but 90% of it relies on being able to run an operation with those changes implemented.
Yeah, because like the server's network was not overloaded. The CPU usage was not insane.
My bayonet is going right into your knee.
Right. Lucky.
Nice. Yeah, I'm waiting for.
You'll be leading. You'll be leading.
I will.
Ruckus.
Kimmy, I'll talk to you later. And Wolf, I will let you know as soon as I've got something you can actually work with.
Yep.
I'll step on. Appreciate you, Wolfskin.
Yeah, Miku will be with us, however, so that there's 4 in either vehicle.
That works.
So.
Yeah, there's like 1,000,001 things that it could be, but no way to check. And
right. Do I have any volunteers for anybody RTO certified? In fact, you don't even really need to be RTO certified. It's a side up. You just need to be familiar with RTOing.
Completely uploaded.
Because if I can get
Thank you.
RTO, I can split us off into fire.
At the same time, I'm currently in an op that's going on right now, so I'll do inform you if funny happens.
Wow.
Right,
Yep.
good copy.
Do let me know.
It's going to be the plan then, if you don't mind running RTO, Lex.
Copy, we'll do.
That is phased as shit, Lex. Holy fuck.
5-4. 5-4. Okay.
lots of pretty colours,
Right.
lots of
So,
hard to read
I will
graphs.
say
Yeah.
4 to attack 1. Ruckus, the 4 people you have in your vehicle right now will be 4 to attack 2.
Like barely any of this data adds up.
Ask
It
right
just
now then is that we sort out into
just
squad
doesn't.
colours.
Ryan, go white. Ryan will stay white.
Like
in a it's badly formatted way, or in a something fucking.
No, as in,
yeah, go white as well. You're good.
it doesn't
Ramos
make
are attacking
sense
off
why these
what
issues
you're,
are cropping up
going, so we're attacking off
kind
and
of
doing this
way.
properly.
So,
Lex should go red.
for example, on Friday, the bandwidth
Yep,
usage
Lex.
was
Yes.
at its absolute peak, around 50 megabits a second.
So I will go. In fact,
the server has 250 megabits a second available to it, which means that it's definitely not a transfer issue in terms of the network bandwidth available to us.
Yep.
Now memory, we used. Where's the nice graph for it?
I'm confident driver, guys. Trust.
So in here.
No, I saw that forklift earlier.
New.
It wasn't a
swap
forklift,
usage.
that just tells you how competent you are. Silly man.
Every time I'm looking for a graph, I can't find the graph I need, but I find every other graph.
It's forklift of the future. Oh.
Oh. No, that is not in there.
I don't like that.
Oh, Baker, right,
I don't like that.
Fuck's sake. Just join up and make yourself red if you can. Lex, you as well.
I mean, yeah, we can just look at the actually where it uses. Is it uses memory?
Okay, good copy.
I mean, even, yeah, I mean.
Range step off.
2 seconds. If I didn't do the absolute amateur move, just using space and.
Oh my god! Laugh at that. Laugh at him.
Right. So.
Joins less good.
Yeah, I mean, in total we were using what, like.
Okay.
At peak 42 gigs of RAM, we have 128.
Yeah, let's hit it.
So again, it's not a memory problem as far as I can see. That literally only leaves CPU.
I don't know if this was talked about, but like I've noticed that the Minecraft server that we've made pulls a lot of resources, or at least it looks like a lot of resources.
I am a very competent driver. Ever since I got my driver's license.
I can have a look.
Yeah, I got. Believe this, they gave me a driving license. Essentially means I can drive vehicles.
Yeah, right now it's barely using a core and maybe 11 gigs of RAM.
That works with.
So, because before, like even when it was turned off, it was saying like 130% CPU usage.
Yeah, but that's like so. It's using Linux CPU usage measurements where 100% is one CPU core.
Okay.
So we actually have 1,200% available to us.
Okay. I said, I didn't know. Like I just
yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, CPU's capped at 3.7 gigahertz, which is its top standard supported speed of the model that we have.
Are we,
so that's not the problem.
Let me check.
And
Jordan, any contacts with you, or good just shoot, right?
Yeah, like
still be cubbies?
We're not even using enough CPU to really stress the system whatsoever.
Okay. That's a good ass.
It's just there is just nothing that I can see that's really causing the host itself to have problems. The only thing that I think might be a problem would be everything in the game itself. So, I went over this earlier, but Arma only ever uses one core. Full stop. There is the option to tell it to use more cores, but those get used for asset loading. That's really about it. All of the important stuff like AI, sending messages to everyone, etc. So network packets is all handled entirely on one single thread. Every single frame. So per frame it basically has to figure out what's in the world, calculate the physics and any other calculations like AI for anything that is controlled by the server directly, then receive data from all clients, and then figure out which clients that data needs to go to.
Straight ahead, let's go.
And it has to do that, in an ideal case, 50 times a second. On a single thread.
Yeah, I can.
That is then heavily affected by stuff like view distance. So the Arma server has a config setting called... I'll just use this because this is cleaner right now. Where is it?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, for example, on
Basic.cfg.
this little curve,
Min error to send
you gotta slow it down.
and min error to send near. These two are values that essentially tell the Arma server at what distance, well, how much does a given unit have to move at a given distance away from the player before we inform the player about the fact that that unit has moved. The lower the min error to send, the more messages get sent to each player. Which is generally fine because we have the bandwidth for that. Now, the problem with that is that when you have a lot of players who are receiving a lot of events, at some point the server fills up its message queue because each player has a message queue, and will then start dropping packets like mad. If all queues fill up, the server begins aggressively desyncing because now it's also ignoring most of the incoming messages as well, while it's dealing with the backlog that it hasn't been able to work through because of the amount of messages that have been sent, or it's been attempting to send. That is, I think, most likely our culprit right now.
No, that was like a
maybe.
I don't know, communication.
But it's hard to say because the only way that we can check that is by running a mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew didn't start his site up a few minutes earlier.
Or an archaic
Or a few minutes later.
Yeah, which is why I've now asked Hattie to run a command called #monitor.
He's flying low.
Essentially, #monitor, then a given number, will print out the status of the server's, I guess, network and frames per second and stuff like that. Every X number of seconds given by the number after #monitor. We need those performance numbers pretty much in regular intervals throughout the mission and at any peak point. So, for example, load in after people have loaded in. Then when a lot of new AI are being placed or a lot of heavy fighting is going on, we'll want numbers, and we'll want those numbers as well when the server begins desyncing.
Okay.
That should, hopefully, all things being equal, give us a bit of an insight into what the fuck is going on.
Never letting you drive again.
Yeah.
Or at least at what points is the server noticeably beginning to degrade? Because if we can figure out what exactly the problem is, i.e. is it us placing a lot of AI, is it there being a lot of heavy fighting, is it maybe a mod that's causing the issues, then we can work through that a lot better. Annoyingly, mods don't allow for profiling well. I could install the Arma profiling /dev version. There's two variants to be exact. There's the dev version and there's the profiling version. The profiling version will give us a lot of information, in-depth information about what is taking how long. However, it's also extremely laggy.
Yeah.
Because it's doing a lot of operations at the same time. It also unlocks a lot of diag stuff, which we information that we wouldn't otherwise be able to get. Problem is somebody needs to be either in the mission or doing it via Archon to get the information. And well, we can't use Archon right now, and the person doing it in the mission has to be the admin, which in 99.9% of cases is administrative permissions.
Right, set up
and we can only have one admin at a time because that's how Arma 3 works.
Okay. The more I find out about Arma 3 spaghetti code, I swear to God.
Ruckus?
Oh, it just gets worse. It just gets worse.
Remember, Bohemia does not know why servers are weird.
Bohemia doesn't understand their own fucking code half the time.
Exactly.
You were really close to me, and your broadcast
surprised they
was
haven't
like
picked up
super
what, man.
staticky, so
Right. Okay.
I can
so,
also
yeah,
try
so
to move us to the
jammers-
performance
Right.
build
Rocket's
instead, which is just the
going to
just the
split
dev
up. I want
preview
you guys
essentially
loading up
for
inside
Arma.
this building, hunking down.
But it's called the performance preview because it incorporates a bunch of patches which haven't been implemented in the base version yet.
Yeah.
Um,
270 in the field, tracers.
but that's really as much as I can do without us going on a deep dive into the actual mission builds themselves and/or our mod composition.
Palms are down to loading.
We have about 8 different theories on what's going on, but like Heidi said, we just don't know until we get more information.
Yeah. What are the other ideas that people have had?
Ranging from most likely to least likely. We're fairly sure. We have a good theory that there's something in the first MEU mod pack that's either conflicting, or first MEU mod that's either conflicting or causing issues like memory leak and desync. Because most of the desync happened when phantoms were in the air. Could entirely be coincidental.
Are you feeling a little
But also
bit
just
from us, right?
we also used a lot of deformer during the operation, which we are aware causes the server to kind of schizo moment.
Do not fire.
As well as just kind of generally hit performance.
My ass is not simple, okay? It's got a lot of terrain.
One of the least likely ones, but one that Jordanovich has reported similar issues were the bayonets, because there were a few times where we equipped bayonets en masse, 4, 5, 6, 7 people at once. And the huge desync waves happened shortly after. Like I said, though, that also coincides with the phantoms. So it could be neither. It could be compounding. We don't know.
In the next mission, it might be worth getting the output of #monitor, then spawning phantoms, then getting the output of #monitor again, and then despawning the phantoms, and getting the output of #monitor again. If there's a noticeable difference before, in use, and after, then we've got our culprit.
Okay.
I mean, even if there's a noticeable difference before and in use, it doesn't even need to be when they're gone, but knowing that if they start the problem themselves, or whether it's something else, that might be useful.
Do not fire.
Trying to look. Yeah, Deformer doesn't really seem to have any performance issues per se.
We know that it bloats a file size pretty heavily if you use it.
Yeah, but I don't see that being much of a problem overall.
Okay.
I mean, it'll bloat the file size, but you can only download the mission file once.
Okay.
So, are we using stuff like dynamic simulation?
No, we try not to use that whenever possible.
I'm guessing that's because of the activation distance problems, or?
Yeah, activation distance, as far as I'm aware.
I'm guessing you're not pre-placing a lot of AI either, so...
When it comes to Covenant, we can't. The Ungoy and Elites, more so the Ungoy, they create compounding memory leaks. If they're placed on a map for too long with no activity. This is a known issue in A2S and Optray. It's because of the way they're configured. I don't know the full details, but it's why you can't spawn more than like 20 of them at a time. It's because Envoy are essentially vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that, right?
in terms of like they don't move like a person. They move entirely in these scripts.
It's fucking awful.
Why when you hit them, they actually like do the animations from Halo and shit like that. Web Knight is one of the mod developers.
These mods are also they look really cool. They run like shit.
Yep.
Ramos. Bo Jaden VTuber debut when?
Bro, he's been a VTuber the entire time. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I didn't say Joe Biden. I mean Bo Jaden. The other
Oh.
guy.
I don't. Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you. Perceiving you.
My eyes are wide open.
For any units that you do pre-place, do you use LAMs to offload them to the HCs? Like, how much do you actually use the HCs?
So, Jordan, we probably have been using the headless client incorrectly.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Yeah,
From what I've heard so far. But...
Yes, I think we might just not been using it correctly.
So, the headless clients, when you place down a unit, as Zeus, at one time, you're still always in control doing all calculations for that unit at all times. You have to actually, either via a script, or some add-ons have that in, some Eden add-ons, offload the unit to the headless client if you place them at runtime, which is why I generally very strongly recommend pre-placing units if you can, and then offloading them to the HCs at mission start using something like LAMs. Because otherwise they will not sit on the HC, full stop.
Okay, because we do pre-place assets in Eden.
Yeah, but are you linking them to LAMs, headless?
Yeah, like that's the thing is I don't think, at least I don't, I know I don't, so I just didn't know how that works, so that's something I'm learning how to do.
Was it LAMs FSM? LAMs... If I could write today, that would be great. FSM.
I gotta go get somebody's intake interview done.
Oh, fun.
So I'll see you guys in a bit.
Alright.
Yep. So, yeah. Guidelines. There we go. No, Fena AIS, that was it.
Good copy. Firestar, just be careful, we've got multiple continents pushing from the southwest. We know.
Alright, the videos are up. I will send you them now because they were in the stream.
Thank you.
So the first one's like, so pretty much it's only very unfortunate.
Op recordings.
Yep.
Which one?
The one from Saturday.
Oh. Yeah.
But you know, are completely fucked up. But I digress. Again, there's a few problems. Meanwhile, I'm also in the Andrew right now, and I can barely give a shit. Yeah. So right now I'm in Andrew's op, and the Immortal Elite thing is still going on, but that's also probably because of an ammunition difference.
Must be a lot of downtime for that time to be here.
No, we're engaging right now.
Oh.
I'm just multitasking like a motherfucker.
Get them fools.
Out of battle.
Roberts, can you hear me? Yep, I've got AP. I think Rocky has as well. Yeah, it's back, it's clear. Right, are you still in the chat? Are you still in the voice channel with like Hattie and yes? Right, let them know that I've just checked the configure add-ons, and a part of the problem with the elites might be the fact that we're still using the first MEU's base shield strengths for the elites. I've just checked in the configure add-ons, and it's still all set to the first MEU values, and they kit their Sangheili out to basically be platoon level. Yeah, just a little bit of context.
Okay, well at least we figured out one of the problems. I think. So the elite immortality thing that I think Hattie might brought up to you. We realized that since they are still base personnel, you, Covenant, it is most likely the values of their shields. So, because they're still the base armor, they're still like on the platoon level type of armor value, which is very powerful.
I was just saying that to Ramos.
Wonder if you could tweak those.
We're still using the
You
first
can,
enemy
you
use
can.
values for their,
It's just you know, code monkey shit.
So it's like the way
Like,
to have them is at least
I was hoping
Standard.
rather in a config somewhere than in code, but
the one-to-one that we use.
It's configurable. It's just, you know, a lot of time and effort.
80.
If I can recall, you can actually configure this for like, you know, but you can actually configure things for the armor values of soldiers and their health.
Oh, am I? Oh, no, don't be.
Like as if it was
More context than me for this now.
you know, kinda doesn't make sense, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Wait, so last stop. 10 people rushed an elite that was meant for 20.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Ramos, I'm
Enemies.
going to give you a little bit of extra cover here.
Beautiful.
Nice. Dear God. Still no heart rate, that way, Ramos. Giving CPR. Oh, rip.
Okay.
No heart rate moment.
But yeah, so far right now, performance isn't too bad, but we are only like 8 people, or 9 people.
yeah.
Good check.
Radio check.
Southwind.
Good check. Down, bro. Almost go down.
Okay, we are withdrawing. We're going back to the north.
Yep, let's go.
Then we're back to
Get out. Move it out. Back to the Bulldogs.
Go.
Back to the Bulldogs, go.
Take fire from the rear. Get on the guns.
Yep, ready to drive.
So, mounted.
Yep.
Almost
Wait, no,
falling
Brian
star.
and
Hurry
Wellington are
up.
dead, so they're not mounted up, but the rest are. We're good.
Copy. Follow phase line. There's a church 200 meters
Yeah,
to our southeast. Pull back and regroup there.
Hi, Monarch. We're pulling back to a church southeast of our position.
Lex, if at all possible, I need you to read that we need an urgent resupply. We are draining ammo too quickly fighting these
Okay.
elites.
Pike to Monarch, would it be possible to have a Pelican drop off some ammo at our new holding point at the church on the hill? We'll give Gray Square in a moment. Copy.
It's a spirit. Disembark. Get into heavy cover.
Yep.
Get out, get out, get out. Go, go, go. Disembark. Dismount, dismount, dismount.
Casualty, casualty. Morningstar is down.
Hang on, I got him, I got him. Gotta get him out of here. I got him. Come on, Morningstar. I got him. Why is Ramos AFK?
It's okay. It's okay. Just keep moving. Get inside the church.
Oh, Morningstar, you fatty. Come on. I got him. Don't worry, I got him. Play a phone. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're good.
Right, boy.
Drop it. Good.
No, no, I know.
Be advised, I'm putting trenches in front of the main entry.
Be advised, see if you can put up trenches around the vehicles. We do not want them getting exploded.
3027.
I'll copy. For Danovich, I'm gonna start moving the vehicles to a better position. The attack's gonna come in from the south and the west. I'm gonna put them behind.
Keep the head
Drop it.
down. Supply pod is coming.
Where is he?
Over there, to the west. Don't go up there, oh shit. I have no clue what you raid.
You tell me it's an arsenal, please. I gotta replace my rounds with AB. You're taking care of him. Jordan is the... Oh, he's not here. Hang on.
Covering fire. I need covering fire. So I cross the open.
I'm pretty sure it's cruiser that uses that weapon.
Jordan, who is a supply drop, an actual supply drop, or is it going to be an arsenal?
Ask Lex.
So were you
Where
able
is
to
Lex?
view the videos?
Supply drop going to
There you go.
supply pod.
Yeah, I've been skimming through them. It's
Yeah, if we've got windy, take them up to the back.
difficult to say. I mean, they're useful,
Yeah.
but I need more data. Just more data.
The never-ending quest of
Copy.
data.
I'm going to tourniquet all the limbs.
Yeah.
Don't do the right
It's infuriating.
Copy.
left arm, apologies.
We've also got times 1 range cert.
What, honestly, my major theory is probably like a bunch of effects and whatnot going off. Because the Covenant have like very powerful armor and are, you know, coded in a weird way, especially the first MU one. So
Yeah.
there's likely that to do with it.
How are you doing?
Considering how our server's not affected by that
Copy. So
by
I'm
the funny
switching now.
crowdsource thing, right? CrowdStrike.
No, not at all.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
Trust me, the server wouldn't even be running right now if
Oh,
we
yeah.
were affected by that.
yeah, I know
Take some
exactly.
blood.
That's why I'm like,
The,
I know it's not
Coming in
that.
soon.
And right now, you know,
That's
the op that we're running is
I know.
actually doing
I
okay.
love Monarch.
So my main question
Wasn't
would
too bad.
be
You should be back up shortly.
is
It's busy in there, so I'm not gonna go in there.
Receiving some
if
blood.
it's not because the Covenant themselves are an outright problem. It might
Yeah.
be more so a combination of their status effects.
Jordanovich.
Like, you know, they have shields,
Rocket?
they have
Yeah,
powerful armor,
I just want to get
the Covenant weapons, I'm not sure if they're op trays, or that has to also be checked.
I think that's the next main.
Oh, those are elite!
Drop pod,
And
Yeah, I mean, the shields and stuff like that are generally only calculated when they're being shot at.
yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. You have to remember, like, being ops, we had two squads for a platoon.
Hmm.
And you have to remember, all of these guys are shooting the same damn thing. And they're like
Wait,
spam
you guys are
fire.
only fielding... Was it 2 squads of 20?
2 squads of 11.
Shit.
Okay.
2 squads of 11. So the fact
Yeah, that's weird because I've run missions with a full platoon with better performance than this.
I'm gonna get to the vehicle. Hang on, this is a good idea. What the shit?
Yeah,
We're getting
that's
surrounded
weird.
here.
Well, we did just see the slap.
And then again, we've never used that one mod.
Right. Everybody prepare
We
to
also
mount up.
generally
Hold on,
didn't
I'm
play
gonna
that much
slap
Halo
got around.
armor because,
Perfect.
well, the community was toxic as fuck a few years ago.
what was toxic?
Fuel rods, fuel rods.
Parts of the Halo community.
Oh yeah. No,
Ruckus, there's an elite with a fuel rod running around.
Unfortunately,
Right outside.
well,
Hey, firm, I'm in the
one of our guys is a trebuchet developer, and that means we got to interact with a lot of the self-labeled high command. Fuck them. I cannot stand them.
We're being surrounded and about to be overrun, Ramos. This is not a good place to be.
One thing I do want to see if it'll work, but it'll require a significant change in how the missions are built, is adding Fen AIS. Because Fen has a... Yeah, Fen has a system where... So it has a caching system. It's like dynamic simulation, except you pre-place all of the units in the mission, set them up with Fen, so you set up like the loading areas, etc. You can even set up QRF if you feel like QRF stuff if you feel like all of that shit. Then when it loads up the mission for the first time, it actually takes all of the units and then just despawns them. So it actually bypasses that memory issue with the elites that I think it was Kamea mentioned. Which should actually fix that problem, which is great because it doesn't just freeze them like dynamic simulation does. It actually just fully just deletes the unit, and then when the player gets into the activation area, it spawns them all back in again. And if you keep activation radii relatively low, and stuff like that, you could even do it with triggers if you need them to come in from further away. You can then pair it with stuff like lambs so that they will automatically assume fortification positions in buildings, etc. And it's actually really sophisticated. The problem is that would require whatever mission we were to decide to test it on to be run with basically as many pre-placed units as possible, i.e. like over 80% of the units would have to be pre-placed for us to be able to work out whether that is actually making a measurable difference.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I don't
get
see why that would be a massive problem realistically, because the units aren't loaded, so...
No, yeah, the only problem would, again, be is how fucky would the Covenant AI be, because this is not...
Yeah, but since the Covenant AI isn't running when the unit isn't spawned in, it doesn't matter.
Go back to the chapel now.
Only issue there is actually... The only issue we've ever run into, and in those cases you have to kind of you have to tweak the trigger zones a little, is jets. Because they'll just go across the map and then just like spawn 50 fucking activation zones. Like half the AI is now active. Yeah.
Yeah, Arma and jets are one of the funniest things, I swear. Purely because how jets have, you know, because like most jets now, like fighter jets now these days can go at least like
which is why
map 2
User left your channel.
map 2.5,
The map's such
right?
small.
And the
User
map
joined your
is so
channel.
small that the jet's just gonna zoom in.
Yeah. Yeah, But to be honest, we barely fielded jets, because every time we fielded jets, the infantry would complain about how they had nothing to do. You know, oh, the jet just kills everything before we get there.
Use the first MEU weapons to try
I'm
and
like,
kill the elites a little faster.
yeah, but that's the point. The infantry isn't supposed to be doing most of the fighting.
Infantry is supposed to just admire the fireworks.
Yeah, the infantry is supposed to arrive at the objective that's already been thoroughly bombed, ideally unless it's a civilian area, and then clean up what's left. And if it's a civilian area, they're supposed to, you know, identify targets, call in strikes where necessary, and then clear buildings because the tank can't do that.
Yeah, I get that. I really do get that, especially.
But then the infantry's like, oh, but we have nothing to do.
Yeah,
M8
I actually nearly complained about it, even when we had. Because we have, we have our air element or
Thunderslung grenade launcher.
You click on it, and then you can
It's
just
what
select
amounts
the M837.
to an attack like a hodgepodge of attack helicopter element and transport element, right? Essentially, think of your Cobra
There we
element
go. This
in the army.
EMR actually looks way cooler. Holy shit.
So we have that, but the problem with
Looks
that
hard.
is that, you know, since again ice in the air, people are gonna feel like, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Right? I get that. I get that. But that's just again, for me, it's a matter of how the
it's pretty telling
operation
that
is done.
Regular.
I was going to say, at that point, it's mostly just mission design, right? Because
it is mostly just mission design.
if you really need to keep air assets out of an area, just put down an anti-air cannon.
I'm just carrying a fucking
Yep, and then the infantry can clear that.
Yeah, you're fine.
Exactly, the infantry can go clear that, and then they can call in their strikes. And you know, if you have jets, enemy jets in the air.
I have a fucking mod.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go on.
And what?
No, I was just saying, like, if you're fielding jets instead of helicopters, put some enemy jets in the air, put some enemy bombers in the air, for Christ's sake. Like, have your jets do air supremacy.
Baker and
this man fucking gets me.
I get you, because I was the fucking tank regiment commander for most of my time actually playing.
Once we've actually got some first MU weapons,
The tank regiment or artillery.
Actually kill it like a lot faster.
That's pretty much why, like, you saw the announcement. If you saw the announcement of the whole thing, we're gonna hold up our Reach campaign. We're gonna do like reforms and such.
I don't have access to like most of the channels in this server, so.
Okay, so yeah, no, pretty much they announced recently that we're gonna put our Reach campaign on hold and other things, because I wrote a 21 long page document with 10,059
Only thing that I
words
can play
in
was
it,
about the elites, but that's not really
describing
an issue.
the various like issues that built up in the unit
of the Bulldog
for
H&G.
7
I don't
months.
have. Oh, there he is. Everyone, open fire.
As a way to actually document. But instead, so pretty much because of that.
Right, so we're all agreed then. We'll take
they were
first
able to
MU
actually,
weapons and actually
have
kick
an
ass this time instead of getting our
time
asses
to
kicked.
reflect on things.
Yeah.
And mind you, I'm not even
Right.
staff.
Okay.
I'm not even staff. I'm just a guy who knows how to audit shit.
Do you have any bruises on?
Yeah, I got hella bruises.
And the only reason why I haven't bothered to bring it up, like, because again, as I said, it compiled over 6 months, right? The only reason why I didn't bother to bring it up during those 6 months was because I was told they were fixing it, or they were busy in real life, and I will respect that.
To go about reinsert.
So,
Right, so
I'm not gonna do that. But since, you know,
do we still need to pull back, move back forward to the FOB, or can we move to the town of
the server problem here is that compounding of
Chapoy?
I pretty much said,
Right,
fuck
cool,
it, I'm
because
gonna
I'd
write the
rather we get
document.
set up there and then we can have a phased fallback through the town if it becomes
That's
necessary.
pretty much why there's some actual
So give me a
soul
second here, I'm going to mark some
going
phase
on.
lines down here.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't succumb to an end by that, luckily. Eventually people just ran out of steam.
Yeah, I get that.
We're waiting for Arma 4 to drop, and then we'll have people doing missions again, hopefully.
Yeah, no,
It doesn't help that...
I genuinely get that.
Yeah, it doesn't help that BI completely overhauled how the mission making is done in Reforger.
Oh god.
So I wasn't looking.
Which I think is actually, quite intuitive and makes sense, but people who've never used a game engine before have no fucking clue where to start.
Real.
Both at the same time.
Yeah, the moment
Because the new editor is basically just the game engine.
Absolutely
Oh
smackers.
shit, serious?
Also, the tyrants.
Yeah. I mean, it's really powerful that way, though. Because, like,
no, yeah, it is.
if I... Like,
Yeah.
I'm for example, I'm writing a mod that does after action reporting, essentially. And with Arma 3, I have to write it in like Visual Studio Code with the like SQF plugin, and it's not always great. Then compile it with either Micros tools or Hempt, depending on which one right now is working better. And then half the time the shit I'm trying to write doesn't work anyway, and it's not great, right?
Yeah.
Now, I start up the development tools. I start up the inbuilt code editor, which has links to everything that the game exposes. I can override native functions, pretty much. So I've hooked into the game's code, so my mod actually starts up as soon as the game itself starts, which is fantastic. Because it means it can now auto-detect when missions start and stuff like that. So it does all of its stuff, and then when you actually want to look at the after-action report, we don't need like some shittily rendered 2D map, although it can do that. It actually just uses the DevTools editor, or actually just in-game, just loads up the world, and basically moves units around to simulate kind of how the battle went.
That's nice, that's nice. That reminds me.
It's sophisticated as fuck,
It
but
is.
you literally can't do that in Arma.
Right, everyone on board?
Yeah, no,
Yep.
no, I get that in a lot
Am I
of
meant
people.
am I meant to be like this? What is
Well,
going on?
Yes,
you're
actually you'll see, though. Yeah, it's fine. It's supposed to be
You'll be fine.
sitting off the edge, but yeah, it crashed.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I somehow break the game every time. But it's fine.
Yeah.
Battle.
Yeah.
And it does it by the most hilarious way possible. It literally just.
So what if I store my weapon?
The
Alright.
events that happen.
No, just try and change weapons.
No, it did not. No, it does nothing.
That means to say
Just
you
comes stuff like this.
go back. Like,
Oh.
you can't make it like a video. It only
Damn
goes
it.
forward. Yeah. So it's pretty much the only thing you can do is either slow it down very slow, or speed it up very fast to get the
Right, so if everybody checks their map, they'll
Yeah.
notice I
Yeah,
have
no, luckily
got
mine can do
two
better than
separate
that,
phase
thank
lines
fuck.
around the town of Sheboy. The outer line will where we
No,
hold
mine
first.
supports
If
scrubbing
it
and stuff like
becomes
that, because what it
necessary,
does
we'll
is
fall
every
back to that
few...
second line,
I'm trying to see if I
will
can
be
do it performantly every
concentrated
frame
around
now,
the cluster of
but
buildings, including the
every
church. That will be our strong
few
point and
in-game
fallback point.
frames, it actually queries where every single player unit is, where every single AI
Alright,
unit
I
is,
suggest taking the fire teams to
vehicles,
both lines
etc.
and make trenches
Does a
and
check
stuff around them.
to see whether anyone's shooting, that kind of
So we
stuff,
get
hooks
both
into
lines
all of those
first
events,
where they come.
and then just logs them to a database.
Yeah.
So, and then when you replay it, you can click anywhere like a video would. It just goes, okay, what time did you request? And then grabs itself a buffer of, I think it's like 20 seconds to either side.
I did not realise the ground was
correctly,
so low
and then
over that
renders
mountain.
those
Yeah.
out.
Yep. Yeah. I should have swung us around, but oh well.
Right, you are.
Also, by the looks of it, in
Right,
Oh,
right, that's pirates firing.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
cruiser.
Don't worry about it. George's got it. He's a pro pilot.
As I stated earlier.
Go on, Jordan. Tell us how you got him ahead.
Yeah. I trust in this man completely.
The armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who on the server right now is admin, out of interest?
No.
Who on the server is admin right now?
It's targeting infantry as well, so as soon as we land, it's going to keep firing anyway.
Honestly,
As in,
perhaps
who is currently logged in
dodgeball
as
here.
admin on the server itself?
5Gs are dodging plasma.
Honestly, the parent does
No,
not
as
might
admin.
have that
Oh.
good of.
Well,
It's not that good.
It's a 20mm HG.
Yep, left door cutter contacts below. Engage.
Yep, Jackal, Jackal
Can you
274.
just message him 5 real quick,
Do we?
grab me a screenshot, and then... Actually, don't do that yet, I need to figure out how to turn off hashtag monitor first. It's been a while since I've done this shit.
Just not the one, the Eternal styles.
Right. I want white team reinforcing the outer line.
Well, no,
facing
somebody
west as soon as
with
we land.
admin permissions has to log in as admin, then run hashtag monitor space 1 or hashtag monitor space 5 or whatever.
White team, I'll make him up.
Even better.
So what I would recommend you to do is write that down. When you want when you want to do it, I will tell Jordan in game.
Can you have Jordan run that, please? That might actually work. He has to be logged in as admin though, for that to work.
Okay.
Ramos, come on, make it up.
Because that
we're going to be reinforcing the northwestern front of
that should make it show up in the console instead of his
just set up the trenches
screen.
and hold them off as long as we can. If you go yellow on M
If it does end up showing up for him, mostly S0 turns off as a note, but that should then show up in the dedicated server console, which means that I should be getting every 10 seconds.
Yeah. All right, give me 1 moment. I will.
Yeah, take your time.
I will get to it. You already you already did your server magic thing of removing monitor, right? You removed the hashtag monitor already.
What how?
The thing that you asked the thing that you asked me to do.
Hashtag monitor DS10. Well, I can't do anything server side for that, so it has to be done by someone who's actually in the server, which is really stupid. Which is why they have to run it.
So this is a server command that they run, yes.
It's a command that somebody with admin permissions has to run while they're in the server, yes. The one with the 10 at the end. The one with the 0 at the end makes it stop running.
So this is pretty much just giving you monitor access, correct?
No, what it's giving me is a breakdown of server performance. So the amount of traffic going to and from each player, and then information about where the player is in terms of like lobby role selection, briefing, stuff like that.
All right. Yeah, I pretty much.
I was asking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I pretty much got it then.
Cool. Hopefully, if that works properly, I should be getting performance information. If not, we'll have to figure out what to do. What was I doing?
So,
oh yeah, I need to...
So guess what happened? Guess what funny bullshit just happened?
What?
So I told Jordan to do it, right?
Yeah.
He's logging into the server. He accidentally types it in the game.
Oof. Because he typed the password.
No, he didn't. He didn't. That's the good part. But again, he literally typed the
Yeah.
log in the fucking user.
It's not even login username. It's
Laughing their ass off.
right. The password. Yeah. Yeah, he's logged in now.
Reopen.
He's dead in game, so he's
Hello, Rainbows.
pretty much just fixing it.
There we go.
Yeah,
cool,
the,
cool. I'm getting
fucking
performance information now.
SEC
Okay, the server's running at
boys
46
won't be able to
FPS,
get
which is
them,
actually good.
Yeah.
Drop out to for some reason has two sticky kits in their inventory.
One more northwest and one more northeast as well.
They are, like, I'm guessing.
Yeah, go 177.
Or shift it in.
Thank you, much fire.
Okay, no, that's him.
By the way, we're good, Rainbows. You can go.
Yeah.
So I have typically 20, 25, sometimes right now, no, now it's 20 to 60. I know for a fact that half of it is for I know that the server has pretty much half of it.
Yeah. Interesting.
More drop pods.
Alright, morning.
Disregard, my bad. Contact southwest.
But pretty much, if I can, like, pretty much I know, because again, I'm in full. And I may have, like, pretty good hardware. If I want to get to anywhere close to the server FPS, I have to, like, get rid of all the fucking details, lowering resistance.
Keep in mind, the server is also running, well, not a graphics rendering engine.
I know.
So, its FPS is always going to be better.
Yeah, I know. But pretty much like the average FPS for people, the best of the best FPS. And I know this because people do tell me their FPS count because I do it as a sanity check for myself to make sure that I'm not like fucking losing for living happening across the world. So what they usually tell me is like the
Hunter southeast, bearing 145.
Copy that. Hunter southeast. Hunter southeast.
He's pushing in hard.
36 FPS.
145 count.
36, 30,
Get away, run now.
30 to 36 is the best of the best FPS that people can get, especially if they're near the server. The server is extremely actually have like,
That's why I host my servers in Germany. Or if you want to give everyone an equally bad experience, have the server hosted in southwest Australia.
No, you see, that would make me have the best time.
You say that, but a good friend of mine lives in Malaysia, and when we want to play together, we always play on Australian servers because both of us have equally bad connections to the same server, and I'm 3 times the distance away.
I know.
Yes.
I know exactly what you mean. I really don't know what's the deal with Australia.
And that's when we're playing Star Citizen as well, so the game runs garbage, and now both of us are lagging like shit because neither of us is connected to a good server.
Ramos, you up?
Rocky, I'm going to ask you to...
Come on, Ramos.
Copy.
Yeah. I get that. I fucking get that. Especially since I have to.
We're
Like,
also
when
taking
I play
engagement from the
squad,
south. I'm going to reposition red team in order to deal with
I
anyone approaching.
I heard nothing. The fucking radio
like
failed, or you
America.
spoke on the wrong frequency. Say again.
So I have to play on the Australian server. to
Take
get,
your
like,
guys up to the west, hold the centre of the western line. We'll hold around here and repulse attacks from the south.
Alright, we'll cover the western. Let's go.
Remember, if you can't get me over radio, send a runner. You don't need to bring your entire fire team to speak to me.
No, yeah, no, we just saw people dying here. So we can...
I know it's perfect.
And that's also the reason.
Right,
why I
white
kinda
team, let's
stopped
shift
playing
back
Squad.
north. We're going to be covering the main road
Yeah.
for now, facing west.
I've practically had it with playing with us trailers.
Yeah, we've got a lot of casualties up here from the AI. Let's get up there.
It's not.
They're taking a lot of fire.
It's just aggressive. Oh, it's right north of me. Oh, it's right north of me. So when you're like,
Gun hunt, north, direct.
You wanna like scream ether.
Copy that.
I don't know, like playing with people like Jordan is also
Rear,
difficult.
behind our rear. Hostiles, rear. East.
You say that, but what if that one person is your fucking unit leader?
Ace check, what's up?
Because I can tell you,
Wellington yellow.
the furry unit part of our unit leader
Sitting right
is
underneath the fucking
very Scottish.
Yeah, I'm
like,
inside the house and I'm getting
very Scottish. And he gladly embraces the Scottishness sometimes, to the point of being not understandable even to English people.
Right, white team, we're going to be pushing back.
Actually, funniest shit was we have two Vietnamese players,
They're dropping everything on us.
and
Start making your way east.
well, we did a Vietnam campaign at one
We are
point.
not getting flanked like this.
And both the Vietnamese players were essentially Zeusing. Which meant that they could make all of the really racist cliche stuff happen. And it's fine because, well, they're Vietnamese.
I get that. And if I were in their position, I'm not gonna be above. I'm
The accents and the names that they gave to like NPCs and stuff like that was the funniest shit ever. Holy fuck, the local construction engineer. Yeah.
White team, I want you guys, whoever's up, I want you pulling back east now. We're taking heavy fire, we cannot be here any longer. Smoke is up, use it to your advantage.
Bangting owl, yeah.
Damn it.
It was the four pilots of.
This is how you know I'm getting. Hey, Ramos. This is how you know I'm in the Middle East when when I had to buy internet from here. I'm getting emails in broken English saying thank you. It's like, dear client, thank you for purchasing our product.
It's Mecca,
And it's
my
like Rs,
favorite
like
Iraqi pilot.
Like OURS.
He's not even a pilot. He's just a bartender.
So a co-worker of mine. So I work in cybersecurity. A co-worker of mine posted a screenshot of an email he got at one point to our internal chat. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But essentially, that he lives in the UK. He only speaks English. That is the only language, literally only language he can speak. He gets sent an email with, it's like the UAE letterhead written entirely in Arabic. It's obviously a scam email because we ran it through Google Translate later. But it's like, this is the most mistargeted message, the most mistargeted phishing attack ever. Here we go, I found it. Where can I put it? Memes?
No mic.
No mic.
Absolute paste.
Furries try not to have a technology adjacent job if possible.
I don't even know what gift I sent to Barracks.
Oh my
There we go. That's the conversation. This targeted, I don't think they were even facing the target in the first place. Oh my god, it's fucking fantastic.
Give me like 5 seconds. I'm currently having 5,000. Ping is currently 5,000.
US, actually, my ping is surprisingly good considering we're connecting to US East. It's 84. I'd normally expect it to be around 110, 120.
I love being in less than third world countries.
You're not even in third world. You're like, you're in fourth world. You are literally.
You'd actually be fine if I was providing the server itself, because I'd be hosting it in Germany, and your connection fine to there.
Yeah, Germany connection.
Also, have an Arma related meme.
Over next to Ramos.
Taking a task in it.
Sorry, down as far as I'm aware. I'm going to move to try and find them.
That was from our medic chat, by the way.
I will. Oh my. Jeez, my.
Hello. Rainbow has 2 people down. Holy shit, money stars on. Yeah.
Oh. It died. Yeah. As I was gonna say, what sucks about being here is I have to use a VPN to check the bank account.
I say again, start to pull back to the fallback line now.
Are you at least using a good
You
VPN?
can tell other people if you're listening. We gotta pull back.
What are you using, man?
Just get people out of there.
I'm using Vira.
I'm with your damage. I'm trying to say something.
No, that's VPN. If ever the VPN gets worse, I'll just end up sharing you mine.
Avira is an antivirus company.
It's also, yeah, they also have a VPN service installed with your antivirus. And it's only $45
There's
for a
no
year.
leech just on the other side.
Get back now.
I mean, I could introduce. 1 second.
White team, I want a name
Trying to
check.
pull up. There's a website that does like really in-depth VPN rankings, but I can't find it.
Well, luckily I do actually think it's
Get back to the church. Carry any wood you can. Get back to the church now.
Honestly,
We're getting surrounded.
if you want,
as long as
if you want a VPN that is provably never going to give away your information, because they literally can't. They're called Molvad. They operate out of Sweden.
that one.
They got served a hand over everything you have notice by the police, because the German government went to the Swedish one and went, we need information, and Molvad probably has it. The police turn up at the data center to seize the computers, and then, well, left without seizing anything, because they had ascertained that there is no information that they could have taken, because Molvad literally doesn't store anything.
Be advised, we got backups over here. If anyone needs an arsenal. Negative, not an arsenal, just a drop.
Hello.
Because I also
Welcome
use
back.
Surfshark purely for also the Netflix bullshit, right?
Hmm.
So I'm not sure Molvat has that type of feature. I'll have to check that again. But if they do,
Not explicitly, I think. But I mean, if that's important, there's also Proton VPN. In general, the entire Proton suite is worth it. But,
Yeah. How do you spell Molvad?
Pulse is fine. Just receiving pledge.
MULLVAD.
VAD.
You can also pay in crypto. You can send them cash by mail. They don't even get an email address. You just get an account number.
Jack was west.
Yeah, they're never getting mail from me if that's the case.
OPSEC, my beloved.
I mean, mail is actually
the Iraqis will just steal it.
Oh yeah, that's
I was going to say, mail is the safest way to send anything. The problem is if you're having to go across the border where customs is a bit proactive in regards to mail that contains money. Yeah.
Wolfskin has such a salesman voice. It's like you're reading an ad or something.
I want someone with me looking up to the northwest,
You
please.
have such a salesman's voice.
Solo up here.
It's like you're reading an ad or something. But Grammarly helps.
I have professional singing training that probably contributes.
Sounds like
maybe on the building
have a
behind
trained
us,
voice.
like on one of the windows, so you can cover the whole rear over there.
But yeah, Mulvad. €5 per month.
I think that would be a good spot.
Doesn't matter
Or at least one facing the main road. That would
how
also
long
be
you're
good
paying.
spot.
It's always €5. Because, well, they can. You can prepay for like 50 years. They'll let you do that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus
Nice.
Christ, man.
Oh, and if you pay in crypto, you get 10% discount.
Yeah, I realize.
I will not be paying in crypto.
I mean, the
I don't know,
Iraqis
why
can't
not?
steal that.
If you pay in something like, I think is it Monero? The transaction basically, I say basically, it's not impossible, but the transaction basically can't be traced unless you're a nation state with the computing power of the United States.
Well,
And considering
Skin
there's
has
still...
hit the average IT checklist. Mention Monero and mention all that.
I'd like to point out, if I haven't made it clear before, I work in cybersecurity.
I know, I made a joke about that. I said, furry, try not to have tech-adjacent job. Impossible. Also, that is a
Impossible.
self-report.
Drop pod,
That's a
south,
self-report.
south,
I did the
Impossible.
exact same thing.
Yeah, Ramos. If I can get the job that I want for the army, I'm gonna have the most eclectic fucking career.
Good copy.
Oh, you're going full career.
Oh yeah, no. So what I'm planning on doing is that, as you know, I'm a mechanic, right?
Yeah.
But I'm door gun for deployment. I plan on reclassing to a pharmacy tech.
Yeah.
Stay back up on the northwest front now.
I'll have
So you can issue your own pills?
I'll have
Several leads pushing in.
yes, but besides the point. But my career will be so eclectic because I'll have my ordnance corps pin on my right side. I'll have the aviation wings, which you can only get by flying. And I'll be in a medical unit. It'll be like, what did you do with your fucking career?
You'll be like that one Korean guy who became a Navy SEAL, a doctor, and an astronaut. I forget his name.
Johnny Kim.
Oh. Yeah, Johnny Kim.
Johnny
The Navy
Sins. Johnny Sins.
pilot.
Blue smoke building
Yeah,
now.
you'll see
We're
him.
using it as our Alamo point. We'll be
Yeah, he's a
holding for
pilot now,
10
by the way.
minutes until reinforcements arrive.
Yeah, he's NASA.
Make your way north
No,
now.
he's an actual Navy pilot now.
Oh my god.
Also,
South,
he
two
got
leads
bored
on the
with
road.
NASA, okay.
Yep, wait for him. Just make your way south.
You see, this is why I
North, apologies.
Everyone's trying to outdo each other in the most
Asian
retarded
parents.
way. Real.
You can't outdo that guy. You can't.
We can't. No, but again, people are going to compare you because Asian culture likes comparing people.
Banshee's in the air.
Right? So
Why
they
can't you be like your,
Banshee's in the air.
can't be like your cousin, Johnny Kim?
Exactly. That's
Why can't you be an underwater welder, Navy SEAL,
Shit, got hit.
fucking flight
Why
technician,
can't you be an
astronaut?
Oh god, actually, talking jobs in underwater. So the company that I used to work for was a marine classification company, and they had a branch that we were part of, which did quality control. We handled cyber, and one other part handled stuff like inspections for underwater welding and stuff like that for oil platforms. And me and 3 of my colleagues were tasked at one point with doing an internal
White team, make
pen
your way
test
north to
of
the
the company, and part of that involved a bunch of phishing attacks. and we set up a LinkedIn profile for because we were targeting that branch. We set up a LinkedIn profile for a woman who was a underwater welding inspector. She came from and studied in a town in somewhere in the north of Scotland at the arse end of nowhere to basically to minimize the chances of us running into a problem where somebody's like, I don't remember you. And yeah, so we set up that thing. Person does not exist and stuff like that. The profile was perfect. One of my colleagues had even sat down to basically read through the content for the exams that we were for the welding inspection exam, so that we were kind of.
I'm here.
We had a bit of know-how of how that stuff functions. So we wouldn't just be put on the spot by someone. And no, wait for it. Literally, like a day or two into us starting the operation, we got a friend request on LinkedIn, or a link request, from a guy who was born in the same town, studied at the same university, in the year above our person, so definitely would have known them if they'd been there, because the course is fucking tiny. And at that point it's like, oh shit, our cover's blown.
I had
Mission
to show
failed, we'll get up
restraint.
next one.
You mentioned it was a marine thing, and it was a phishing attack. I had to show restraint to not make a joke.
Torsky, can you say something, please? Can you say, like, Cyrodiil belongs to the Outmarried Dominion, but in a really posh accent?
You're gonna have to write that out, I can barely understand you.
Bulgaria.
Weird language is weird.
If you want a weird language, ich kann auch in Deutsch reden.
No.
Das geht auch.
So far.
Executive call to get the fuck out of here. Everyone who's not.
At least somebody picked up that it was German.
Yellow building.
So we're doing better than a
We
lot
do not
of
have
people.
time to be begging.
Yeah, I said no Deutsch.
No, I'm just saying at least someone picked up it's German, because when the other times they're like, what language is that?
We need to get the fuck off that
Yeah.
street.
You have built every single.
I live in a country that is overwhelmingly monolingual, i.e. the United Kingdom. Oh, Cyrodiil.
Second most spoken language.
Cyrodiil belongs to the Outmarried Dominion.
Perfect. Now if you could say like 15,000 more lines, I can probably make a Morrowind mod or something.
No, honestly, you only need about 9 minutes of how I speak, and then you can just train an AI model on that.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't sound as authentic.
Fair.
I've gotten some really good fucking results. I had a secretary that was entirely AI, and I used one of the like really popular fucking voice copying things, and holy fuck, it was so good because it would read out my emails to me. Like it would just summarize my emails, and it would be like, "Hey, you have an email from your bank saying you have to go there and."
Right outside. Okay. And when you're securing the back alley,
But
the
it
yellow
cost
building.
so much because it used
Full securing the back
11
alley, the yellow
labs,
building.
and it used
I know,
a
it's not. You're checking on. I'm checking the window.
one of the OpenAI API keys. So every like couple characters was a few cents. It was not worth it to run.
Yeah, this is why I just like local models,
Second
like
woman
Llama
ever.
or something like that.
Well, Ramos, I think it's time to play through the entirety of Elden Ring now.
No.
On the Iraq
Also,
internet.
can I just mention, the Speaker of the House in Fallout London is voiced by the previous British Speaker of the House, John Burko.
Oh wow.
who's
No, that's
known
unfair.
Did most people don't even know who he is, but there's a bunch of memes about him on the internet, telling people to shut up, basically. I think he actually approached them about it.
Oh my god!
I mean, that's the most patriotic mod I've seen so far.
Wellington's down.
Most of the developers aren't even British.
Oh.
Even better.
Look, I need. Yeah.
Also, holy shit, can they get their shit together and fucking publish the mod finally?
Oh, so it's not published yet, okay. Sad.
They're publishing it soon TM. They've received it back from QA testing from GOG, finally. And it's only taken them literally forever.
I mean, I don't blame them.
I mean, the Reddit
Bethesda
is
did a
cancerous
silly.
as fuck.
Bethesda did it silly, and they were like, "Hey, time to update Fallout 4 for no reason," and they absolutely bricked the mod.
Ha ha ha.
To be honest, they probably knew that it was going to happen. Not when, but they knew it was happening at some point. And honestly, they had a downgrader. They could have just published it with a fucking downgrader and then worked on it.
Yeah.
Or just told people, look, here's the mod. If you know how to downgrade, do that. We'll get to you soon, TM. That would have also worked. But no, they had to delay the entire thing for no reason.
Last mag.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Get yourself a cubby with.
The biggest mod ever.
Maybe.
Wolfgang, do you have Star Citizen? Question.
I do, but there's been
You
a
do.
while since I played it.
Enemy spirit
No, I'm
dropship.
just confirming whether what Sherlock dug up about your username is correct.
Take cover, spirit dropship.
Interesting.
Switchblade couldn't
Fuel rod, southeast
You can send that to me. You should let me see how much of my how bad my OPSEC is.
I mean, there's not much. I went purely off of your Steam username, which is not really indicative.
Oh, fuck.
There's a Fiverr account in the US with the same username.
Okay, that's not me.
Yeah. So most of these are false positives, unfortunately, because you know, there's no APIs to check stuff with. There's your Reddit account, of course.
Yeah. My Reddit account with like 5 posts.
There's more than that, but yeah. There's a Roblox account.
Wait, what the fuck?
Huh?
From 2017, matching that username. There's a Sketchfab account from June the 18th, 2024.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah. There seems to be a Snapchat account with that username.
I fucking hate Snapchat. Gross.
Thank God. And there's a voice mod account with that username.
Yeah.
This man right now.
This is not even me bothering to do that much. Oh, and then a live page, but it's all in Russian, so I don't know.
No, you're not allowed to know that. You're not allowed to know that.
Wolfgang is a Russian spy. Okay, confirmed. Time to call in Justin Trudeau and the CSIS.
Right, it's meant to be like that.
There's one post which just goes, I decided to start writing down my thoughts. There is a desire to write and suddenly something will come of it.
The moment you put an internet connection, you're basically showing your asshole to the whole world.
Honestly, that was one of the things I remember from my forensics lessons at university. My lecturer, fun fact, was one of the founding members of the forensics department, first forensics department for the police in the UK here.
Oh, make him down.
Actually truly air-gapped. No system that's actually truly air-gapped, because as soon as you use a single component which at some point in its lifetime was connected to the internet, you can consider your system compromised. So you would have to build the entire system yourself. That includes the machines that build the machines that build the machines that build the machines. Because at any point, if you compromise one of those, you can indirectly affect
Drop pod, you guys need to get out of this fucking spot.
And then you would have to write the entire operating system yourself without using any software on another machine to write it, because by doing so, the end result that you get out could get modified by your compiler, say, when you then install it on the air-gapped machine.
Hold on a little longer.
It's now compromised. I mean, that's taking it.
For the funny thing of Volcan, what Russian account? For what?
No. I was joking. It's just very ironic that that lines up. The only accounts that are actually correct is the Reddit Sketchfab. I don't even know if the Sketchfab is my username. It probably is.
Did you open it last month?
I'm pretty sure I used it once, and that was to get a model for VR chat.
Yep. Advised friendly frigate directly above.
No, I've got the models that I need for VR chat. I'm happy with those. I'm not getting any new ones. Fuck that. It's already enough of a pain to keep it updated anytime VR chat makes a breaking SDK change. No, there's a few ways to actually trace my furry self to my non-furry self, but at this point, I don't care. I mean, my entire workplace knows I'm a furry, so...
You see, this is why I don't even bother.
Hey, Rocket. See the next time I take the fucking time to set up nice face lines and fallback routes, etc.
Like, yeah, I know
Remind me of
society's
this
gonna
often
go
the
fucking
fact that
hammer
it
me
gets
down
dropped
the
right behind
moment
us
they
anyway.
realize anything I do.
I mean, yeah,
So,
like
fuck it, I'm gonna be silent.
No, I know.
Everything tactical aside,
Like, literally today. So we had
Do we still have those ammo crates down there? Unsure. Gotta go check it out.
Here in the Philippines, we call it State of the Nation, and the president is here at the Congress. You wanna know how far Congress is to my house?
How far?
Is it clear outside?
Only less than 10 minutes drive.
Cool, that narrows it down. Let me find your address.
I remember, like, in one site, dude basically posted a picture and told us, come and find me. And I basically just searched one bank from that picture, managed to find where he lived. So if I can do it,
actually, it's actually now possible to find where someone is most likely in terms of geographic.
Oh yeah.
Based purely on the pictures of the inside of their home. Some researchers, it's a really interesting paper, but some researchers trained a categorization machine learning module to essentially figure out, based on stuff like interior decoration, lighting conditions, etc., where in the world somebody is most likely. There's a similar orthogonally-related model which is based on landscape pictures. So you don't even need anything identifying in the image. As long as you've got a landscape image, it'll most likely be able to tell you at least what country, if not exactly what region in that country you're in.
what if the room is dark?
I was about to say exactly why the only, like, 4 pictures I've ever taken of anything identifiable has been in pitch black.
I mean, they can brighten it up, of course, but will it be reliable?
Yeah, but at some point you just lose fidelity. Then again, most of those machine learning models, they reduce it to all black and white anyway before they process the image, because it means less data points to process.
like
You're
if
in
I
my
probably
So-
send something
permanently.
on that.
Yeah.
it's probably
Hello, new
like-
person. Welcome to Warhammer
Hello.
Company.
Very new person indeed.
It wouldn't be easier if everyone just.
This is a very new individual.
Welcome to the IT crowd, unironically.
I think
IT.
there's one
IT,
identifiable
I'm
picture
just here.
Be here soon.
I've ever used, and I sent it to one person, and that person no longer exists. So I think I am safe.
What do you mean they don't exist?
Actually,
Worry
$1 million
about it.
question, Wolfgang. $1 million question. Are you using a password manager, and which one?
Oh my god. He's silent. He's silent.
Yeah, I have a password manager. It's called a text.
I'd like to point out the password manager is going to be infinitely safer than you yourself are. More secure, sorry. Unless you're using LastPass, don't use LastPass. Use Bitwarden. You can soft host it.
I'm aware that it's safer. It's just I don't want to right now. I'm working on too many other things to set it up.
I don't see how that would be a high
Channel switched.
high expenditure endeavor. You just install it, and every time you log in somewhere where you don't have the password manager, you just quickly set up the account or click on save because it'll auto prompt you to save it.
As in, I'm working on stuff right now. As in, like, I don't have time to set it up.
Right at this.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying you should right now. I'm just saying in general.
It's literally a click of a button. You're being lazy.
Shut up,
I mean,
you
seriously
fucking-
though. If don't get me started on shit like the passwords that we use for the server. They're long, which is good, but there's several words chained together, which is bad.
Oh no.
Stuff like that, right?
The thing is, I should use a password manager. I'm not gonna. It's not an actual password, but let me quickly do a naming scheme for one of my passwords.
You see, this is why I've begun using other languages, Latinized, as passwords, just to like utterly fuck anyone who, like, you know, English language model, right? So they don't have it in their vocabulary.
Well, until they know which languages
Yeah,
you're
which
using.
language I'm using, but they still have to. Figure
Or
out, like,
if they're actually
Just conjure
actually
English,
brute
there you go.
forcing it,
Oh yeah, brute
then
force.
like that doesn't make much of a difference. And it's not like brute force. You need to brute force from A to A. It's not how it works. No, you use fucking what are they called, masks nowadays?
Yeah.
Based on stuff like password rules. Just for example, why if there's a password field on a website, you know how sometimes it'll be like, oh, you must use at least 3 symbols or stuff like that. Or you can't have 3 repeated characters consecutively. Yeah, those actually make it much easier to crack the password. Like, relatively speaking. Don't do that.
User left.
Just make passwords at least 12 characters
you were in
long.
the Falcon, you were. I
Doesn't really
literally
matter.
dragged you
I
all
mean,
the way across
you
the ground,
want
only for you to die the moment we
characters
lifted off.
and letters and numbers and symbols, but like even 12
I took a look at the
letters
scoreboard. I had gotten
is already
20,
way better
21 fucking
than
kills.
with numbers.
Hang on,
Like
how many
7
do I have?
letters
I'm
and numbers
being an
together because it's
auto-rifleman.
just longer.
I don't know. I just know that Miku
Do you
was
want to
the next
complain
with
about
8 kills.
password length?
8 kills?
No, God, fuck. Shut up, no, shut up, die, fuck off.
I'd like to point out the password for my encrypted drives is 128 characters long.
Go look
I
in
will
the
argue.
mic.
I will argue
You
any
guys
day
can go
about
give
password
op
length.
ratings in Landing Bay, please.